Hello, my darlings. You're tuned in to 21st Generation right here on Zodiak Television. My name is Ruth Jafula, and as you know it, we talk all things young people in the program. And today I am honored to have Sandra Mtaula from Safeguarding Training and Empowering Malawi. And of course, in this program, we talk about the work that she's doing with different young people. That is, of course, from primary school, secondary school, and what have you. We are going to talk more. But for now, let me introduce you to her. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine. How is everything? How's life? How's work? How's business? Everything that you do?
Well, life is good. Life is very good.
Yeah.
Of course, ups and downs along the way, but yeah,
you're floating with it. But that was like, hey, when the ups are upping, you're floating, and then when the downs come, you're like, hey, how am I going to get out? Right? How am I going to get out? But no, it's really good to just appreciate the fact that sometimes things work and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about STEM. That is what we're here today. And for viewers that are watching us right now, what is STEM?
So, like you said, STEM is an abbreviation for Safeguarding, Training, and Empowering Malawi. It's a social enterprise. A lot of people get confused as to what a social enterprise is, but it's sort of like an organization that has a dual purpose, meaning it has elements of where we're helping society as well as elements where we're also trying to raise funds for us to be sustainable, self-sustaining, right? So our main goal is to reduce economic inequalities among Malawians, as well as improving their economic statuses through employment, entrepreneurship, and education. So that's, in short, what we do. And we are working with youth, women, as well as children, because we have programs designed for primary, for secondary, even for university, as well as for graduates. So we're looking at a person from the beginning of the education until they are mabikin.
Yes. All right, now you mentioned economic inequalities. Normally, when we hear that word, when I hear that word, what comes to my mind is the inequalities between a man and a woman. Are you now talking about a man and a woman, or are you solely just talking about the classes in Malawi?
Okay, so we're not too focused on gender because we're trying to help both the girl child and the boy child. Okay. So we're not limiting our efforts to one gender specifically, but we're trying to see that there's some people who are more vulnerable than others within different age ranges. So we focus more on people who are vulnerable. So we're looking at whether you're in a rural community, you're generally more vulnerable as compared to someone in an urban community, as well as even those who are in the urban community. There's still some who are lacking behind and failing to adapt. So we look at different age ranges and in different societies, so different programs work in different settings.
Yeah. So you mentioned working with the youth and then women and then other
Children.
people. How do you balance your work, and maybe just in general, how do you do your work? How do you make sure that you reach out to more vulnerable communities?
All right, so at STEM we have 6 programs. So each program was designed to address the way you say that different age groups need different assistance. So our theory of change basically just states that at any point in time in someone's life, something could go wrong for them to fall in the hands of poverty, right? So whether it's when you're at a young age, if you don't get the right nutrition, you don't get the right assistance, when you're starting primary school, you'll be lagging behind as compared to those who had better nutrition and better assistance. And then when you are in primary and secondary school, if you don't have the right materials, so that's the educational materials, whether it's the financing, you also end up falling short, and people drop out of school because of simple things as I don't have a uniform, right? And then when you're in university, you do the school, and then when you finish university, if you don't get a job, if you don't get to start a business or something like that, again, you're vulnerable to fall into the hands of poverty. So we've designed 6 programs that are able to address every single phase that someone passes through. So for start, Peña Ana, which is the one that focuses on children, specifically those who are aged from 0 to 18. So these are people who are going to be found in preschool, primary, and secondary school. We just put like an average age that most Malawians finish secondary school is around 18.
Yeah.
So these are the kids that we want to help with school materials. So we're able to distribute stationery to them, bags, if they need assistance with school fees, if they need assistance with for girls, we help them with menstrual products, because we also know that especially in rural areas, there's some people who fail to go to school because they're in their menstruation.
Yes,
so
exactly.
we also help girls with menstrual products at that age. And then we have a program that we call STEM Academy. So STEM Academy is pushing for employability. So we know that there's some people, not everybody was built for business, right? So we're trying to help the youth get employable by giving them the right skills, the right knowledge, the right opportunity for them to actually gain employability. So whether it's trainings, we have trainings, we've had trainings on CV writing, we've had trainings on how to understand what working technology you need to leverage for you to do the job market now. Like everything is going towards AI technology. So if you're not learning that, you're staying behind. We also have an internship program. So we have youth, fresh graduates, as well as fourth-year students that we are taking in and working with organizations to allocate them in different organizations for an internship program, so that they too can get the experience, because we know that at the interviews, once you don't have experience, you're sort of left behind. And it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of the way things work. So we have that internship program for that. And then we also have Golos, which is an entrepreneurship program. So this is where we train people on how to start businesses and help them develop their businesses for them to stand on their own. Because like I said, not everybody was built for employment. Others want to be employers. So we're both helping the employer and the employees. So those are the main programs that we have. The rest, I wouldn't want to go too much in detail, but then we have also Ziko, which is we're trying to help the environment. So we want to make people aware of all the ways they can help save the environment and also just have climate smart action. We have Tanzi that looks at health. So we address issues to do with sexual reproductive health. That's where we have the menstrual products, and we educate girls on their sexual reproductive rights. And then we have STEM Consult. So like I said, it's a social enterprise. So we have all these elements that I've highlighted are focusing on the society. So they're mostly free programs, just supporting the youth. So for us to be able to operate and stay helping, we have STEM Consult, which is a business consulting entity. So we provide business consulting services to different organizations within the country, mostly focusing on human resource management services as well as business development services.
No, you have said quite a lot. I'll be getting to the things that I feel like relate more with the program. All right, now I will start with the one that you work with. Is it Peña Ana? The one that you work with, different kids, secondary school, primary school, and whatnot. In getting these kids, or maybe helping them, how do you make sure, or what's your criteria in helping these kids, and how do you make sure that everybody has that much needed assistance?
All right. So since we started working with children, we really focused on the rural areas for the schools that we work with. For now, we've been working in Kwadawada district. So when we go to these schools, if it's not possible to assist everybody, because there's cases where we we're going to give, we go to the headmaster of the school, and then we ask for their guidance in terms of who do they have on their vulnerable list. So usually they have a list in most government schools. It's called an OVC. So they have their own list of vulnerable students. So they've seen that whether they're failing to come up with school fees every single term, they're not having the uniform, they're having problems with malnutrition and things like that. So they already have a list of vulnerable kids that we can easily just tell them, okay, we want kids on that list. We also deal with sometimes we focus on children that are special needs. So they also always have a log of all the students that are special needs on the school, because we don't want to start having a different criteria with the one that they've already created. So usually we work with the Ministry of Education as well as the headmasters of the schools that we work at to guide us into which students are more vulnerable than the others.
Yeah. So do you ever go back and just facilitate to see if those kids are now doing well, especially the ones that now maybe bridging from primary school to secondary school, maybe go to the universities? Do you ever follow up?
Yes, we do follow up. We especially like to keep in contact with, again, the Ministry of Education as well as the headmasters of the school. It's just unfortunate that some schools, the teachers don't have maybe like WhatsApp or whatnot, because we've gone really deep in some of these in the rural areas. Yeah. So because unfortunately, financing isn't always the easiest thing, so we try to find a way to keep contact with some of these children. So usually when we're giving them assistance, we tell them to give us a number, whether it's theirs, their mother, father, whoever, so that we can be able to call them and do some check-ins, as well as the headmasters themselves, because they are also watching over them from a different point of view. So they are able to give us that, okay, the aid that you've given us is really assisting, and highlight other problems that the students might be having.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at one where you help a lot of young people to be employable. With the scarcity of jobs in the country, how has that been of late?
It's very tough. The job market is not being very fair right now. Unfortunately, it's because, the economy is not going as smoothly as it should be. So a lot of organizations are downscaling as compared to growing. That's why we opted for the the internship program. So what we're trying to do is, okay, maybe the organization itself is not currently ready to hire people because maybe they don't have the financing to hire a full-blown team. But we'll be like, okay, you still need the manpower to keep your business in operation. And we also need our interns to learn certain elements of your business. So whether they're in accounting or whatever, they want to still they've never done the physical, because what you learn in school and what you find on the ground is
different things.
Completely different things. So we usually just request for these organizations to just help us help the children, right? So just giving them a short-term internship program. So usually it's like 3-4 months that they can just be willing to take on the students to give them the experience. And then after that, it means most likely they've learned the system of the organization. And if they're doing a good job, because we also encourage our interns that you need to actually show up, right? Yeah. Right now, maybe you're not getting the money you would be making if you had a full-time job, but you need to work as if you're at a full-time job, so that when those 4 months are ending, when they're like, the internship program is done, they should be like, no, but
I really like this guy.
Yeah. So it's like it gives them an opportunity to step into a role that they would normally not have the opportunity to have, right? Yeah. Because we're also really knocking on these organizations' doors to be like, okay, just take one. We're not asking for too many. Just take one intern and see how it goes. And then with the time, with the skills that they learn, it really helps them to become more confident in what they've learned in the universities, and as well as to be able to have something on their CV that when they're applying for other jobs, they have something that they can refer to, that, no, I've actually done some of the work before. Yeah.
All right. So these internships, do they get paid?
Yes, sort of. It's mostly like we just ask the organization to facilitate their transportation to their job, because they can't hire them yet. So it's just assistance in terms of transportation while they're doing their internship. Yeah.
All right. That's quite so much. All right. So, talking about jobs, I know that a lot of young people right now, they're being encouraged to step more into entrepreneurship because, obviously, of the job scarcity. Maybe in your line of work, you did mention that, it's not everybody that can do business. It's not everybody that can, work. Does it ever cross your mind to say, hey, at least I think winali says kangari agesila
okay. Well, yes. I think I need to encourage every single young person that there's no such thing as an embarrassing way to make money. Right? I said embarrassing. Legal. It's legal. That's legal. But then embarrassing in the sense that I think some people feel like they can't do this because it's a little bit below their standard, or they can't do this. Because at the end of the day, you need to be able to sustain yourself, right? You can't be every year after year, hey, mommy, I want money for my hair. Hey, mommy, I want, you need to still try, right? Because you don't know what's going to make you blow up, right? So if entrepreneurship, if employment is not working out, you're not finding a job, I don't agree with you to just, sit down and just cry and complain. We need to move to a point where we're no longer focusing on the problems and trying to find solutions, right? So you need to be able to think of ideas, simple ideas, but they're still making money. I've been seeing people selling as simple things as malambe in little packets, and they're still making money, right? Because it's better I make my 2,000 every day from my malambe sales than I just sit in my house and do nothing, right? I mean, awubanga tubiniyo, awugula bando, awubanga post pa TikTok. Mwage ura?
Awubanga post pa TikTok.
Mwage uenda. So that's what I'm saying, that don't be embarrassed to start a business. There's no such thing as a business that's embarrassing. Trust me, before I was doing this whole social enterprise, what have I not done?
Yeah.
From, I think there was a point I was selling chocolate in school, and then there was a point I was selling jewelry, there was a point I was selling fabric, there was a point I was selling, like, I've done so many different types of businesses just to try and see, because you can try and see, because you will never know until you actually try. Some people do the same fabric business and it really blows up for them. If it never got, it was just like, okay, let's try something else. I've even sold Zikachitika, right? So it means don't underrate a certain business, because you don't even know the money involved. People just selling malambe. You don't know how much money that girl's making, So I just would like to encourage people that any business that they have as an idea, they should try it out. Try and see, and you'll be surprised.
I feel like you have, of course, touched on a lot of things, but having worked with a number of young people, especially those that maybe have graduated or are in the universities, what would you say is one of the biggest challenge in empowering young people?
I think attitude. Unfortunately, I think when they do some school, I don't know how to say this nicely. When they do school, their attitude towards life sort of changes, right? So they feel entitled to certain things, right? They don't know the job market, but in their heads, the salary that they think they should be getting is like, woo, and you start thinking, do you even know how much people are getting in real life, right? So I've had issues of like somebody, because like I said, we do consulting, so we also deal with recruiting for other companies, right? So in that process, that's where that opened my eyes. That's why I was like, I need to also add elements of training children and kids in how to write their CVs and prepare for interviews and things like that, because you come into the thing, the theory that you've done at school, and people with this degree, right? So you think you know everything, and then you come in, and then we remind you that no, you know the theory. There's a different side of it. So be eager to learn new things. I think some youth are failing to accept that they don't know everything, that they still need somebody to teach them, they still need someone to mentor them, to coach them, to guide them, to be in their full elements, So I think that the most thing that I need people to work on is their ability to learn. Just accept that you don't know everything, right? Because if you put that mentality, then you're eager to learn more, and you even find that even at your workplace or whatever, you will even be trusted with more, because you're learning and you're not doing the things the right way, not the way you think, but the right way, right? So I think that would be the thing that people need to work on.
The attitude
towards learning.
But no degrees, just a paper. No, just try business. And I did this, I did that, it worked.
Of course, I'm not reducing the value of the degree. It helped me. It helps a lot of people. Not just to learn specifically the industry that you studied, but there's certain things like just being on time to class. Just presenting, there's my presentation journey. That's public speaking, it gives you confidence. There's so many things that you learn while you're in university. The university experience also guides, changes and molds you into a different person. And especially if you're taking advantage of it, because some people just go there and just survive. Like they're just like, I'm just here for the paper. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to socialize. They don't join clubs. They don't. They're just in their room, class. I don't think those people are getting the best out of the university. Try join a club. Try to see. Try being part of the committee that's planning the socials and see what it feels like to plan an event, because you will learn different things from like actually experiencing, your college life. So I'm not shunting the use of a degree, but I'm also trying to say that even without it, as long as you have the attitude to learn, there's so much you can do. Yeah.
You have given so much wisdom, but one thing that is so major that the youth watching us right now should take away from this program is what? Go.
Is there's nothing as impossible. Anything you put your mind to is possible. Whether it's your education, whether it's your business, whether it's your job, you can do it. There's no limitation. Don't think of my age, my background, my thing. There's so many things you can achieve. Yeah.
No, thank you very much for that. I'm pretty sure one or two people are inspired, with everything that you have said. And of course, we wish you nothing but the best as, you grow and grow and grow and employ more young people. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we had for you in today's program. Like Sandra said, there is nothing like, I cannot do this one. Oh no, it's impossible. No, everything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. We keep telling each other right here to say, you know what, whatever you put your mind to, it cannot happen now, but maybe later it's going to happen. Either way, it might happen for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ruth Jafula. Continue watching other programs right here on Zodiak Television.